Hi everyone, this is Twermuse, again, picking up where we left off in Doki Doki Fallen Angel. Let's see, where we last left off, yeah, we uncovered some backstory of both MC and Yuri. I mean, finding out some more about Yuri's, cutting habit and about MC's relationship with his parents and so on. Got more mysterious text messages from that mysterious texture. That's some nice CGs, that was cool. Alright, let's move on. It was the following day. I gently opened my eyes. I grabbed my phone to look at the time. It's still fairly early. Is the sun out? Looking through the curtains, it appears the clouds still haven't fully subsided. Still a light shower outside. Turned to see Yuri has mysteriously vanished. Huh? Sniff, sniff. I smell food. I quickly get up and start my normal routine. Whilst brushing my teeth, I realize how stupid I look in this kimono. Especially he's over at Yuri's place at the moment. He just spent the night, and I guess he brought his toothbrush with him. It's no accounting for taste. He thinks he looks stupid. Come on, he rocks the kimono. We established that. Anyway, I walk downstairs into the living room. Good morning, Twermuse. Yuri's hovering over the stove, a pan sizzling atop it. What, no darling this time? He doesn't respond, but I can tell by her blushing cheeks that she heard me. I sit down at the table and Yuri follows, plates in hand. I start to dig into my breakfast. So what are the plans for today? Well, I talk with my mouth full. I was thinking... I was thinking we could go to the pharmacy to pick up your prescription. Then after that, we can turn to that one spot from yesterday and have a picnic. Yuri smiles ear to ear. That sounds really nice. Yeah, that's why I came up with it. I hope the weather clears up, though. Take another bite of my food, still chewing. I give her a big nod. Twermuse, I had something I want to do as well, if it's okay with you. Of course, what is it? I wanted to throw out my knife collection. Oh. This comes as a shock to me. Surprised to be sure, but a welcome one. Memes. I think that's a great idea. Really? Are you sure you're ready to do it? If I want to get better, I have to throw out all temptation. It'll be hard to get rid of the collection I've worked so hard for, but I think this will be a good way to end this chapter of my life and open a new, brighter one. I'm happy to hear that, Yuri. Continue to eat in silence. I don't know how to whistle. What? Pardon? I thought I'd break the size with a fun fact about myself. I can't whistle. I've never been able to all my life. Try as hard as I can, looked it up, asked other people, still can't whistle. Just thought I'd share one of my weird quirks. I take another bite of my food. When I watch TV, I always put the volume on an even number. I let it a chuckle. Has to be a multiple of 5. Sorry. I let it a chuckle. What? It bothers me if the volume is set as on an odd number. Well, it'll have to be multiples of 10 then. Sorry. I can't. Oh, hey, okay. I can't watch it unless the volume level is even, or at the very least a multiple of 5. Oh, hey, okay. There you go. I have no idea why. I've just always been like that. Can't help but smile. So, there's my fun fact. It's cute. Yuri turns beet red. Alright, here's another one. When my shoelaces are untied, I always announce that my shoelaces are untied. I have no idea why, and it makes absolutely no sense. I'll just say, oh, my shoes are untied, and then I'll bend down, tie them. Doesn't matter if I'm alone or in public either. Yuri looks at me as if I'm some sort of psychopath. Then she says, that's cute. Now it's my turn to blush a little. Okay, now your turn. Let's see. Whenever I'm walking, I'll accidentally drag my foot whilst taking a step. I'll then purposely drag the other foot as well. Oh, hey. Relatable. Yeah, I feel unbalanced if I take I don't know, it's a random thing. Like if I take an extra step with my left foot, I feel like I have to take an extra step with the right foot to compensate, or I feel unbalanced. It's that sort of feeling. I don't know. Maybe it's an autism thing, but or some kind of stimulus thing. Anyway, moving on. It's as if my mind is trying to balance out my body or something. I've always found it very strange. I have no idea why I do it. I don't know if it could be labeled as some form of OCD or perhaps something else. I'd say you're just weird. We should laugh and continue our meals. Check the time. We should start getting ready. We can get to the pharmacy early, come back, throw out your knife collection, and then have the rest of the day to do whatever. Very well. I'll go get dressed. Oh right, she's in her sleepwear. Yuri comes down looking as beautiful as ever. Ready to go? Yes, let's go. Yuri and I arrive at the pharmacy, which looks very much like the psychiatrist's office, interestingly enough. How can I help you? I look at Yuri. Prescription for Yuri. Can I get a last name? Yes, it's... Oh, my shoe's untied. I looked down and had realized my left shoelaces were undone. I get down one knee, loop-de-loop and pull, and your shoes are looking cool. I stand back up. Here you go. Pharmacist hands Yuri a bag with a bottle of pills in it. Yuri checks the tag to clarify it's the right prescription. You'll want to take your dosage twice a day, so every 12 hours. Thank you. You're welcome. The pharmacist gives us a big smile. Is that it? I flash glance between the two of them. Do you have any other questions? No, I think I understand everything. Thank you again. My pleasure. I take Yuri's hand and we exit the building. It's oddly convenient. Everywhere we go goes in downtown. Alright Yuri, how about we head back to your house and go throw out your knife collection? Yuri takes a moment to ponder this. It's obvious she doesn't share my enthusiasm about removing our collection. Perhaps it holds a more emotional collection than I thought. Well, that sounds like a good idea, Tormuse. That's my specialty. Having good ideas. No, being called Tormuse. Okay. We arrived... Oh, we slipped into past tense. We arrived back at Yuri's house. Yuri's upstairs. She said she wanted to change into something more comfortable. I'll just sit here and wait. Bzzz. Oh dear. I reach into my pocket to grab my phone. I wonder who it's from. Ominous music playing. It's an unknown number. Hope you're enjoying your little break. Wait. This is the same person who was sending me those weird texts. Those weird texts. I think it's supposed to say texts. A few weeks back. I type a response. What do you want? You know what I want. Oh, do we know what they want? Yet you still haven't given it to me. This is ridiculous. I don't know what you want, so just leave me alone or I'll call the police. You don't have to worry about that. My plan is already in motion. Plan? What the hell does that mean? Tormuse? Ah! I turn around to see Yuri behind me. Is everything okay? Yeah, everything's fine. I saw my phone back into my pocket. I just dozed off waiting for you, so you scared me a little. My apologies. It's alright. You ready now? Okay. We head upstairs. We enter her bedroom. We take a seat on the floor. He reaches under the bed and pulls out a I before E, except after C. A briefcase-sized wooden box. She pops the latch and the top flings open. My eyes sparkle in amazement. There's a plethora of all kinds of knives, ranging from pocket knives to butterfly knives, needle points, tanto points, straight backs. It's not just the type of knives either. They're all exotic with their own unique design and color. Wow. That's all I can say in this moment. I'd never thought I'd use the word beautiful to describe a knife. How would you even acquire items like these? I almost asked, but Yuri speaks up first. They're beautiful, aren't they? She took the words right out of my mouth. That's right. Wait, back up. Right out my mouth. Is that another dialectical thing? Yeah, I thought she may have had just a few pocket knives. This is pretty incredible, though. This one is my favorite. She picks one up. solid steel with light blue waves etched into it. Aha, that's the one from the scene in her route in the original game. Anyway, I watch her twirl it around with her thin fingers. Would you like to hold one? I nod. Yuri carefully hands me the knife like a sensei handing his pupil a sword. I hold the knife in my dominant hand. It's a lot heavier than I thought. As I turn it around, its light blue blade reflects the light. Out of curiosity, I run my thumb perpendicular to the blade. It's sharp. You seem to handle it pretty well, though. I wouldn't say that. More so, I just have the common sense not to prick my finger on the point of a knife. Yuri continues to examine me, examining the blade. You know, Tormuse, for a long time these were the only things I had. There was a time where I had just given up on love. And then you showed up. And you showed me I don't need these things. I felt the same way about myself. There was no one out there for me. I just lived my life playing video games and be fine with it. But that day, when I looked into your eyes, I knew... Sorry, I have to pause the recording. Someone needs to knock on the door. Just a moment. Sorry about the interruption. Neighbor needed something. Anyway. Yeah, but that day I looked into your eyes, I knew that everything would be okay. How much do you love me, Tormuse? Oh. Huh? I asked how much do you love me? Well, that's not an unexpected question. I suppose I love you 3,000? 3,000? Yeah? That's a big number. That's just how much I love you. Yuri blushes bright red. Avengers reference. That was really cheesy, Tormuse. It ain't easy being cheesy. Also, don't pretend you didn't like it. Now I suppose we should dump these. Out of nowhere, a ringing cut through the air. Cut. Is that past tense again? Hello? Your expression breaks. She turns wide-eyed and pale as if she'd seen a ghost. Is everything okay? Yuri shoots up onto her feet. We have to go, now! What's going on? She grabs me hand, and we rush out of her house. I'm assuming that's supposed to say my hand. What the? Oh. Here I am, sitting in a hospital hall. Don't really remember running here. The hospital isn't exactly close by, so I don't even know how we got here. I'm exhausted, and I can't even keep up with how many thoughts are racing through my mind. Yuri still hasn't told me what's going on. She tried explaining it, but she stuttered and talked so fast, was incomprehensible. I think I was supposed to say it was incomprehensible. Suddenly, a small pink figure enters my peripheral. Natsuki? Natsuki, are you okay? What happened? Sayori. Oh. I feel like a knife is twisting into my chest. My words are spoken softly. What about Sayori? Natsuki talks slowly and between sobs. I walked into the house. And I was going to make some dinner, and I called her down, and she wasn't answering me. I went up to her room and knocked. She still wasn't responding, so I gently opened the door, and what? What did she see? Where's Sayori? It's okay, Natsuki. So lost this entire time, I forgot Yuri was still here. Just breathe in and out. Natsuki, what happened next? Sayori hanged herself. I fell back into my seat. Knife twists deeper into my chest. I can't breathe. I can't believe what I just heard. I want to deny it. I want to pretend it's some sick joke that none of this is real. I think back to my last interaction with Sayori. Think of my childhood friend, that bubbly girl that always smiled and always made other people happy. Yet I couldn't make her happy. This is all my fault. I know what you're doing. I looked back at Natsuki. Stop blaming yourself. It's not your fault. Yes, it is. If you knew the whole story, you would know this is all because of me. Tormuse? Yuri puts her hand on my shoulder, but I smack it away. Don't touch me. Neither of you can understand. I just need to think. The doctor approaches us with a sour face. You're Sayori's friends, correct? Yes. We've come into contact with her parents. They're on their way, but There will be some time until they arrive. You kids should go home. We'll take care of her. Is she going to be okay? I'm no longer listening. I just... Is she going to be okay? Sorry, is she dead? Not trying to be, okay, we'll see where this goes. I just sit there with my head down, thinking about everything I could have done to change this. The doctor and the girls keep talking, but it's all muffled sounds to me. Their voices have been drowned out by my own thoughts. But there's one word that I make out, a word that pounds on all the edges of my mind. Coma. Okay. So she's in a coma. Oh, hey. Act 3, Turning Burnt Pages. A few days later. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what time it is. Ever since I heard about Sayuri, I haven't left my house. The only time I leave my bed is to eat and use the bathroom. Mainly the latter, as I rarely choose to eat. The pain from my empty stomach is the only thing I feel anymore. I can't believe I couldn't save my best friend. I was the only person who could, and I chose not to. Several soft pounds on my door. I don't respond. Yuri's muffled voice comes from the other side of the door. Tormes, please come out. It's the same line every day, and every day I refuse to move. I failed everyone. Can't show my face to anyone or I risk bringing them only pain. Please. You have to believe it wasn't your fault. Lies. It's all lies. She wasn't there when Sayuri handed me her heart. She wasn't there when I crushed it and dropped it onto the floor. You can't just stay in your room for the rest of your life. You have to come out and talk to me. Please, just listen to me. Doesn't she understand? I don't want to be helped. Help is for people who deserve it. Very well then. Don't talk to me. I just wanted to give you this. A paper slides underneath my door threshold. I lay in my bed for a while before getting up. I pick up the piece of paper. New poem? A bird in the sky. A human can never understand how a bird feels. A bird has wings that allow it to soar highly, but a human can never truly understand that feeling. A human can only go so high with their own being. We look up at the blue sky with envy, with hope to experience the feeling of true freedom. Like a bird that soars through the sky, and the bird may never be able to understand the feelings of us. While it may be on the ground for a moment, it can take off on its own accord. So we look up into the sky with curiosity, and hope that we may one day feel as weightless as a bird. Huh? These poems are usually very symbolic and cryptic, but I have no issue deciphering this one. This poem has to be about Yuri and me. I represent the bird that can fly to its heart's content. It says heart content. And she looks at me with envy. Even with everything I've done, she still holds me highly. Why? Wipe a stray tear from my eye. Under the threshold I can spot a shadow. I slowly turn the knob. Yuri barrels through and crashes into me. I stumble and somehow see this onto my bed. She grips me tightly and cries into my chest. Tormes. I got my arm around her. She lightly pounds into my chest. Don't you ever do that again. For my sake. She stares at me blankly and then goes back into burying her face in my chest. I thought I lost you. Sorry, Yuri. You see now that I'm just a failure. Don't say that. Please don't say that. She continues to stare at me. I meet her gaze. Her soft lavender eyes, red from tears, pierce into my own. Why are you here? Like you said to me, when you love someone, you don't give up. Because giving up is too devastating. Love, such a stupid and confusing word. The word that caused all of it. Yet I can't get it out of my head. The poem you wrote, is that really how you feel? Yuri nods. She's not crying anymore. I was lost in my own little world. I had pushed everyone away thinking it would be better, but I was only imprisoning myself. But you're strong. You can do anything, and you show me how I can be like that as well. I'm not who you think I am. You've placed me on this high pedestal I can never reach. Look at me, Yuri. Look at what I've caused. Yuri places her hand on my cheek. It's warm and soft. Mountains cannot rise without earthquakes. Don't let this moment define who you are. I continue to stare deeply into her eyes. Maybe she's right. I've been beating myself up because of what happened to Sayuri. I've become what I've been trying to help others avoid. You helped me. It's my turn to help you. You don't have to suffer alone anymore. With that statement, I break down. I no longer hide my feelings. Yuri and I both begin to stream tears. We sit there in silence, holding each other. Oh, I got you something. What? Yuri exits the room. She quickly returns. She pulls the bag out from behind her back. What is this? Just something. A thank you gift. For everything you've done. You didn't have to do that. I know. Yuri gives me a soft smile. I begin to reach inside the bag. I feel something solid. It feels like a block of wood. I pull it out. It's an old portable radio. I found it in an antique store downtown. I thought it was cute. And I know how much you like music. I run my hands along the edges of it until I reach its dials. Click. If let me go. I'm not sure what song that is. Click. Hey there, Delilah. What's it like in click? Fallen angel in the dark. Never thought you'd fall so. Click. You're my wonder wall. Click. Look back up at Yuri. Thank you. There's more. More? Reach back into the bag again. I pull the item out. It's a picture frame with a portrait of Yuri. I'm not very good with gifts. Do girlfriends normally give portraits of themselves to their boyfriends? Not usually in this context, but sorry, I missed something there. Not usually in this context, but it doesn't matter. I love it, and I love you. Yuri slides next to me and rests her head on my shoulder. I stare at her. Love, still such an odd word to me. Every time it eggs my mouth, I feel strange. But I'll continue to tell it to Yuri, because this is the girl I fell in love with. January 5th. Oh, we're well into winter now. Very important day. Today is Yuri's birthday. Oh, okay. Is that canon? Is that, Anyway, moving on. And I have something very special planned for today. Check the time, 6 a.m. I woke up extra early to prepare. Today shall be perfect, and this early morning sun says agrees? What? This early morning... Okay, I think take out the word says. Early morning sun agrees. First things first. Have to make sure the gift is ready. Pull out my phone and dial a number. Hello? Yo, Kenji, can you do me a favor? Kenji is an old friend of mine from school. What do you want? I begin to tell Kenji the surprise I need him to help me with. I don't know, man. What's in it for me? Why don't we just call it even for when I gave you money for pizza? I told you I'd pay you back, man. Look, can you do it or not? Sure, I'll do it. Us guys gotta stick together. Yeah, thanks. Hang up. Don't mention who the surprise is for, because I'm pretty sure Kenji doesn't like women for whatever reason. This is a Kadoa Shujo reference, isn't it? Or is it? I've played that game briefly. Isn't Kenji the name of the almost blind guy, or are we getting mixed up? Anyway, moving on. Anyway, with that done, it's now time to start the next phase of the plan. By the time I'm almost done cooking, Yuri walks down. Toy Muse, what is this? Waffles? They smell amazing. I scoop the waffles off the pan and place them onto plates. Yuri, you've been served. Thank you. Yuri reaches to grab a plate, but I intercept her. You know, in some countries it's tradition to kiss the cook. And what country is that? Italy? Yuri gives me a quick stare before breaking into a smile. Very well then. She gives me a quick kiss and proceeds to grab her plate. You seem to have brightened up this morning. Of course, today is a special day. It's not that special. I imitate her voice. It's not that special. Of course it's special, and we're going to celebrate. And what do you normally like to do on your birthday? Normally I spend them alone. Well, this is awkward. Well, anyway, I have some plans for us today. And what are those? I wag my finger in front of Yuri. Nope, it's a surprise. Throughout our conversation, Yuri and I have already finished breakfast. I'll take that for you. I'll grab the plates and place them in the sink. Tormies, you can't ignore what happened yesterday. Where'd that come from? What do you mean? You're acting all bouncy and cheery. It's a complete 180 to how you were behaving this past week. Drop my cheery facade. I'm sorry, but believe me when I say I'm not depressed anymore. I want to move on. People who dwell in the past get left behind. So, how about we get out of here and start our day? Okay. Yuri and I find ourselves walking through downtown. Let's look at the first thing on our list. Pull out a slip of paper. May I see? No, I told you it's a surprise. Oh, let's see. Hold the paper close to my face so Yuri can't see. It's blank. Never wrote my plans down on it. Alright then. I crumple a slip of paper and jam it into my pocket. Let's go this way. Alright, here we are. What is this place? It's a poetry slam. I hope you don't expect me to read in front of people. Don't worry, we're just here to enjoy ourselves. It's dark in here with the exception of spotlights shining on an area at the end of the room. Yuri takes a seat at an empty table. I'm gonna go grab us some drinks. Yuri nods in acknowledgement as I walk towards the bar. I rest my arm on the bar and wave over the bartender. What can I get you? How about a menu? She hands me the menu and walks away. I read it over. What the hell is this? It's all just weird vegan meals and hipster drinks. What kind of godforsaken place is this? Get the bartender's attention. There's some weird menu items. I guess I better stick with the voice I chose. Yeah, we only do fully organic menu items here. We don't believe in the consumption of ravaging dead animals to fuel our human bodies. All of our drinks here are made with only fully organic and imported ingredients straight from South America. I stretch my neck over her shoulder and see a crate of avocados from Mexico. We only use ingredients found in the wild, untouched by the tyrannical hands of man. Well, okay then. In that case, I'll just have 2 waters. Whatever. The bartender rolls her eyes at me and then unenthusiastically pours the drinks. Thank you. Right back at her table. Here you go. Place the glass on the table, and Yuri doesn't acknowledge me. She's entranced by the poet performing. I wouldn't exactly say this is my ideal hangout spot, but if Yuri's enjoying herself, then I'm happy as well. I listen to the poet on stage. He's some tall dude with thick-rimmed glasses, torn jeans, and wavy hair. I stand there, lost in my thoughts. A butterfly watches me. I emerge from my cocoon and join the butterfly. And I fly. He takes a bow and the crowd erupts into snaps. There's an extra into there. I'm not a poet, but apparently talking in short bursts is what you're supposed to do in performing. Suddenly, another man walks onto the stage. He leans into the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a short intermission. He walks off, and the room slowly begins to fill with people's conversations. I lean over to Yuri. It's pretty cool, huh? Yuri looks at me. This is rather extravagant. It reminds me of when we first shared our poems to each other. Glad you like it. I remember I used to be so nervous around you. Yeah, it really makes me happy to see you come out of your shell. I never would have thought my life would turn out like this. He appears to be reminiscing about her past. Mind if I ask you a question? Go ahead. What got you into writing exactly? That's a great question. I wouldn't say it was exactly one thing that got me into writing, but if I had to choose one, I would say the biggest influence without an L was my mother. My mother was very adept in literature. She loved Shakespearean classics especially. When I was a little girl, she would always read to me. Whenever she went away on business, I would read to myself. Whenever I did, it almost felt like she was still there, reading with me. Around the age of 11, I began writing my own short stories to share with my mom. Whenever she came home for a trip, I would immediately rush towards her. Mommy, look is what I would tell her. I wrote a story for you. And then my mom would make us each a cup of tea and we would sit on the couch as I read her the story I wrote. When I look back on it, they weren't really that good, but yet they hold a lot of value to me. Wow, that's really sweet. It's nice to take a trip down memory lane every once in a while. Thank you, Toy Muse. For what? Because you're the first person to bring me that same feeling of joy I used to have with my mother. Aw. He looks back towards the stage. It warms my heart hearing that she would put me on the same level as her mother, and hearing about all the memories she has to make me want to protect her even more. Turn my attention back to the stage. It looks like they're preparing for the next performer. I peek, spelled P-E-A-K, which should be P-E-E-K, next to the stage to catch a glimpse of who it is. I see a teen girl with emerald eyes and large white bow in her hair. I wonder who it is. Oh shit. Yuri? Huh? Let's get out of here. We got more places to go. But we just got here. And what about the next performance? Don't worry about it. I grab her hand and we rush out of the club. Doesn't want to see Monica perform, I guess. Alright, let's continue on. We spent a few hours exploring downtown before returning back to my place. Yuri's getting ready for her next destination. I'm treating her to a fancy dinner. Yuri comes back down. Wow, you look beautiful. I'm wearing the same thing as I was earlier. I know, you just look beautiful no matter what. Yuri looks away shyly. Well, shall we? I hold my hand out for Yuri. Let's go. She places her delicate hand in mine and we take off. Back to the hand holding. We take our seats at our booth. Tormuse, this is beautiful. Looking around, seeing all the rich people with their rich people clothes on, I feel a little out of place. I wonder if Dr. Langton is here. I probably look embarrassing right now. What do you mean? Everyone is dressed so classy here. Meanwhile, I just put on regular clothes. We stick out so much because of me, don't we? This seems to be really bothering her. I mean, I'm not really bothered by it. Yuri, listen. It's really not a big deal. Nobody's staring at you. And if they are, it's most likely because they're shocked that such a beautiful person can exist. You don't really mean that? I do. Thank you, Tormuse. The waiter comes by and places menus before us. How are you two doing today? Great. Wonderful. May I start you off with any drinks? I'll just have water. He scribbles in his notepad before turning to Yuri. And for you, ma'am. May I have some Cabernet? Oh, is she old enough for... Are they old enough to drink? Raise my eyebrows. The waiter opens his mouth for a second, but closes it back up and writes the order. Yuri looks and acts fairly mature and older than what she actually is. I'm still surprised he didn't ask for an ID. Will that be all? Yeah. He walks off. Wine? Only a little, if that's okay with you. Hey, it's your world, Yuri. I'm just living in it. Seeing her shyly giggle makes all the money this is going to cost me worth spending. Now don't go getting tipsy on me, alright? We still have other places to go after this. I won't, I promise. You pick up her menus. I nearly go into cardiac arrest. These prices are outrageous. I try hard not show any facial expressions of Yuri. Try hard not to show anything. Tormuse, these prices are very high. I can help pay for... Don't worry about it, Yuri. You don't have to worry about money today. Thank you. The way he returns, drinks in hand. Are you two ready to order? He pulls out his pen and slaps it against his notepad. May I have the smoked salmon? Fine choice. Expensive choice. He turns to me. And for you, sir. Oof, all of these are so pricey. I'll have the fettuccine alfredo. I like pasta, plus it's a relatively cheap menu item. Is chicken okay, or do you want to upgrade to shrimp for a few more dollars? Do I look like Bill Gates? No, thank you, it's fine how it is. Of course. He takes our menus and heads off. Hopefully Yuri doesn't catch on to how nervous I am about paying for all this. Then again, I only have myself to blame for picking this place. Waiter returns to their meals. Enjoy your food. You too. I stop myself from accidentally saying you too as he walks off. I dig in. The pasta is amazing. The texture of the noodles is super smooth combined with the sauce. Together they make a fantastically savory flavor. It spot a few grill marks on the chicken beneath the white Alfredo. It's cooked perfectly even, which only adds to the already great meal. Yuri starts to dig into her meal as well. Judging by her face, her food is just as good. I can smell the salmon from where I sit. The aroma coming from the plate makes me feel like I'm at a resort on a private island. Are you also getting a nostalgic feeling from this place? I crane my neck left and right. Growing up, my parents didn't really have a lot of money, so coming to places like this was a rare commodity. Not really. My family and I usually ate at home all the time. Very rarely would we go out, more or less to somewhere as fancy as... It's probably supposed to say much less. When I was a little girl, my mother and I would often go to places like this. She was a big fan of wine. So is that where you get it from? Perhaps. A large smile grows on my face. Yuri has such a contagious laugh. I guess just listening to the music just brings me back. Also, just being here with someone I truly care about is very nice as well. My cheeks begin to turn the same shade as Yuri's half-eaten salmon. You don't have any fond memories of your parents? Fond memories. Subconsciously start to rub my chin. I remember one thing. I begin to chuckle to myself recalling the memory. Is that so? Way back when my mom was in the kitchen cooking and she had all these spices and ingredients sitting on the counter, me being the nosy 9-year-old I was getting in the way a lot. Eventually my mom got pretty annoyed and needed a way to get me out of the kitchen. Now, my mother was a very creative lady, let me tell you. She pointed to a bottle and said, "Sweet pea, can you hand me that?" So I grabbed the brown bottle, and all of a sudden a sweet aroma filled my little nostrils. The bottle smelled like I had walked into a bakery on an early Sunday morning. My mom looked at me and asked if I liked that smell. I nodded my head vigorously in response. It was a sadistic grin. My mom looked at me and said, "Why don't you take a sip?" Me, being the naive 9-year-old I was, pressed the bottle against my lips, tilted my head all the way back, and took a huge swig of whatever liquid was inside. What happened next? What happened next will shock you. How clickbaity. As soon as that stuff touched my tongue, it felt like my mouth was rinsed out with perfume. Completely spit out what I drank on the floor and nearly threw up, or maybe I did throw up, I don't really remember. All I remember was my mouth tasted like a car tire and my breath smelled like peppermint. I'm sorry, that's just extremely funny. My mom thought so too. Turns out the bottle was straight vanilla extract, and the reason my mouth tasted like perfume department was because vanilla extract contains about 40% alcohol. That must have been awful. It was, but I guess when I look back on it, it's actually a really nice memory of what my family used to be like. Yuri shifts her body and places her hand over mine. It's as warm and soft as always. Makes me wonder what kind of hand soap she uses. How about a toast? Okay. Yuri raises her Cabernet and I follow with my water. Here's to the ones we hold in our arms. Here's to the ones we keep close to our heart. Here's to the one I choose to live by. Together till death do us part. Whoa! I think it's a little early for marriage vows, Yuri. That was an oddly poetic toast, but I pay no attention as I watch Yuri's wine glass approach mine, and together our glasses collide. With a full stomach, I push my plate aside and call for the waiter. He hands me the bill. Alright, let's see. I read the bill. If I was attached to a heart rate monitor, it'd be going off the charts. Is everything okay? Yeah. What, you think a little bit of money's going to put me down? I hand the waiter my card. Are you sure you don't want me to? I wave my hand up to signal her to stop. It's perfectly fine. It's just money. Smile on your face, however. That's priceless. You sure know how to treat a lady, Tornese. Just doing my boyfriend duties. Waiter hands me my card. Plus, you already know how I get my money. What's that? Not sure what that line means. The waiter gives me an odd glance. Great, now he probably thinks I'm some sort of drug dealer. Is there anything else I can do for you? No, this is really great. You two enjoy your evening. He walks off. Evening? Check my watch. I'm not wearing a watch. I check my phone. The sun will be setting soon. Alright. I clap my hands twice. Next destination. I drop my tip on the table and we take our leave. After our lunch, we decide to... past tense again. Lunch? Wait a second. Didn't you say it was evening? And that the sun... Didn't you say the sun was setting or something? We decided to take a walk through the park. It's a nice afternoon, perfect for my last surprise. Tormuse, where are we going? Back to our special place. Harry practically glows. I like that place, I know. I think it'd be a great place to watch the sunset. That would be wonderful. Here we are, back at the clearing. Hopefully, Kenji went through with the favor I asked of him. This is truly breathtaking. Yuri's off in the distance, already encaptured by the scenery. With that, I sneak off behind some bushes. This is where Kenji planned the surprise. Come back to Yuri. Yuri? Yes? She turns around and freezes. Her mouth falls to the floor. She doesn't utter a single word. In my hands is a baby cherry blossom. I had to pull a few strings to get it, but seeing the look on Yuri's face tells me it was all well worth it. Can't have a birthday without a birthday present. I slowly lower the tree onto the ground. How did you... I know some people. She continues to stare at the baby Sakura. I don't know what to say. Hold that thought. I run back over to the bushes. There's also 2 shovels laying on the ground. I pick them both up and return to Yuri and the baby tree. Would you like to plant it with me? Aw. Yuri stares dumbfounded. Oh, you probably don't want to get your outfit dirty. Yuri grabs one of the shovels. For a second, she stares deeply into my eyes before pulling the shovel out of my hand. I would love to. Aw, that's sweet. Hey. Little baby Sakura in the corner there. We didn't get to see the sunset, but we did plant our tree. We stepped back to admire our work. Well, I did most of the work, but I won't say anything to Yuri. There it is. I don't know what to say, Tormuse. You have really outdone yourself. This is, without a doubt, the best moment of my life, and it's all thanks to you. Don't mention it. Give you the world if I could, but I can't, so I guess we'll settle on a tree. We share a small laugh. A laugh that warms my heart. Yuri stares fixedly on the cherry blossom. Should we give it a name? A name? Well, we planned it together. It's kind of like our child in a way. We'll take care of it, watch it grow. I'm not good with names. How about... Oh, you're putting me on the spot here, game. Can I save it? I can. I don't know. It's a cherry blossom tree that belongs to Tormuse and Yuri. Yuri or Yuri Muse? I don't know. I'm just gonna go with Yuri. I'm sorry, I'm not very imaginative. How about Yuri? I like that name. Then I guess that's his name. We stand there for a while, enjoying each other's silence. It's not an awkward silence, it's rather relaxing actually. Yuri and I simply being in one another's presence, even with a sky full of stars, prefer to stare into her eyes. A cold breeze blows through, reminding us how late it has gotten. Are you ready to go? Not really, but I know it's probably better to leave before it gets later than it already is. I intertwine my hand with hers, and we walk home. After a long day, I shower and head to bed. I flop down onto my mattress. What a day. Hear the water in the guest bathroom turn off. I flash back to the events of today. Couldn't have been more perfect. It's a shame school starts back up in a few days. I grab my calendar. Next Friday marks the Winter Festival. School likes to welcome people back from the holidays with a festival. It's a way to ease back into school life after vacation. Even more so, however, it's also a way for clubs to recruit members for the spring semester. Clubs. Remember the club that started this all? Monica and the literature club? Before I continue to sulk in my memories, my door gently opens. Hello, Toy Muse. It's Yuri! What a surprise. I mean, sorry. Sorry. Sorry, it's just funny. It's like, it's Yuri, like, who are you expecting? Anyway, thank you for today. You're very welcome. Still laying on my back, so my words are spoken to the ceiling. Yuri takes a seat on the bed. This day was really special. I'm glad. Oh, there's one more thing. Huh? I get up and open my drawer. I pull out a sheet of paper. I wrote this after yesterday. It's, thank you. I hand Yuri the paper. I then lay back down to the bed. She stares a bit dumbfounded at me before turning to the paper. Oh. Lost in the dark. Concrete surrounds me on every side. Every direction is nothing but pitch black. I cannot see even what is inches in front of me. I'm lost. Which way is up? Which is down? Forward? Back? This tunnel of darkness consumes me. I only hear my light footsteps atop the gravel. I move slowly forward as if I'm chained to weights, dragging my feet as the gravel beneath kicks up. As I move, the chains grow heavier and heavier. My head feels heavy. The fear of the abyss eats at me. My legs buckle and I collapse onto my hands and knees. The small pebbles in the gravel stab into my palms. I begin to lose hope, and I give in to the darkness. Suddenly I'm blinded, not by dark, but by a bright light. A glowing light piercing my retinas in this endless tunnel. In the center of that light is a girl. She takes a step. She takes another, and another, until she stands above me. I stare at her in disbelief as she holds out her hand. I reach for her. The moment my skin makes contact with hers, I'm transported out of the darkness. I can see, hear, feel. The girl stands beside me. Her hair flows in the wind. She's like an angel who fell from heaven, only for our paths to interlock in the dark, and together we can live in the night. Cool. I watch her eyes glide left and right, following the words. Eventually she stops, yet continues to stare at the page. Is this really how you feel? Continue to talk to the ceiling. Unfortunate typos. I realize something. It's supposed to be an L. Realize something, Yuri. All my life I've been running away from my problems. I've been pretending they're not there, bottling them up, and they were slowly eating away at me. I was lost. I couldn't find my way out of the darkness I put myself into. I looked straight into her lavender eyes. But you are my light. You were the light that guided me. You painted the colors after the world had left me gray. I don't really know how to explain it. Love, maybe. I don't even know what that word means, if I'm being honest. But that's just how I feel. I want to be with you, Yuri. I want to spend all the time we have on this earth with you. I can't imagine being with anyone else, no matter how long or how short it is. Even if I were gone tomorrow, at least I'd be happy knowing that I had met you. Because you were single-handedly the best thing to ever happen to me. So, thank you. Thank you for being who you are. So, yeah. That's what I think. She looks at me as if I'm an old friend she hasn't seen in years. Her eyes glow in the dim lighting of my room. She stares at me, speechless. It's a bit awkward, but I don't dare break the silence either. I just hold her gaze within mine. Time stands still. It's as if my room is a single room floating in space. Only Yuri and me occupying it with no one else to intrude. Yuri moves over me. Oh? Huh? Wait, what's happening? I can see it. Something flashed on the screen there. It looked like it said image not found. I didn't see it very clearly there. Tormes, you've no idea what your words mean to me. Well, it's just how I feel. Yuri hangs over me with a temptatious glare. Our breaths are heavy. I look at Yuri as if to confirm what's happening. I want to do this. Okay. Yuri leans down and her lips meet mine. I've never done this before. Nervousness from when I first met Yuri is back. We were both sweating as if we're both at a loss as to what to do. I feel my heart bursting out of my chest. Yuri speaks softly. And neither have I. Hmm? Ha! Ah. Oh, darn. Thought we were gonna get some hanky-panky that time. No, I'm kidding. It's implied. The hanky-panky is implied. Anyway. Okay. On that note, I think this is a good time to end. I mean, I haven't reached an hour yet, but we're gone to that board. You know, it looks like it was going to get steamy, and then it ended. But that's okay. It was sweet. It was yeah. It was yeah. It's still. I mean, in the back of my mind, I'm going, oh, it feels like. There's a little bit much in the till death do us part and want to be with you forever, considering they've known each other like a few weeks. But you know, they're teenagers in love. What can you do? Yeah. Anyway, I think this is a good point to save it and come back to it later. So yeah, I got nothing else. Until next time.